In this installment, ThunderbirdsTember, in a tier list, we're going to be ranking the Thunderbird 2 pod vehicles, aside from Thunderbird 4, because I've already done a ranking of the Thunderbird craft, and I'm not going to do one here, with the exception of another Thunderbird, which we will be talking about in due course. So we've got iconic, great, good, meh, and you exist. I think they're pretty much self-explanatory. So we're going to get this started with Thunderbird 6. I'm going to stick this one in meh. Now, why this one? I'm not excluding this one, apart from and I'm excluding Thunderbird 4. Number one, Thunderbird 4 is a lot more prominent than Thunderbird 6 because it is only in one movie called Thunderbird 6. And I'm pretty sure it's called the Tiger or something throughout the majority of the film. It's not until the end of the film where it is called Thunderbird 6. So that is my reasoning. But yeah, it is barely in the movie. Yes, Alan uses it to get to Lady Penelope's home, and also Brains uses it in order to save everyone aboard Skyship 1. So yeah, again, I like Thunderbird 6 as like a film, but for like Thunderbird 6 itself or the Tiger, whatever you want to refer it to as, it just does not do it for me. So yeah, we should go out going. This is all my personal opinion as well. Next up, we've got one which is a vehicle we've seen with different attachments. So it's in two different. It's got two different things. This is the Caterpillar thing. With the mortar launcher attachment, which is seen, I think it's only in The Edge of Impact, which is, I really like that episode, but yeah, it is just a mortar launcher. It just launches up that rescue gear up to the guys that trapped at the tower, and that is all it does. So, but it's in one. It is one in an episode that I like a lot. So. But I'm putting it in good. If Edge of Impact wasn't one of my favorite episodes, I'd probably put it in meh. Speaking of another vehicle which has different attachments, we've got. I don't know if this actually has an official name or not. I need to look at the lore. I'm gonna. I actually kind of want to put this one in. I'm gonna put this one in You Exist. This thing with the suction cups, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the episode, the Dutch assignment. It just doesn't work. Yeah, it holds up. Well, I mean, is it supposed to hold up? Like piece of building that are about to collapse. Like I don't know. Is it supposed to hold stuff like that? Because it doesn't hold it. Doesn't hold on long enough. And Scott thinks that Virgil might be trapped underground in the mold in the episode. So. Yeah. Moving on, it's the same vehicle, just with a yeah, that thing that Jeremy Clarkson does during when they're wrecking houses. Like it's got that that thing at the side, like a mine clearance thingy device, and it's also got a drill as well. And I'm gonna put this one in good. But I'm gonna put it ahead of the mortar launcher because I think this one looks cool. I really, really do. It just looks mean. It gets the job done in the episode that it's in, Martian Invasion. But yeah, it's got the blades on the front of it, but also can raise it up, and it's got a little drill as well. So yeah, it just looks cool, and it's in a pretty good episode. What is next? Firefighting equipment. I'm putting this in You Exist because we see other fire equipment in the series. So International Rescue, yes, it makes sense, but London Airport has fire engines. We see fire engines in 30 Minutes Afternoon, City of Fire, and they look pretty much exactly the same as these. Actually, I'm pretty sure that one that's shown in the episode is that explosive tractor from End of the Road. So. Yeah. Another one I'm gonna put in You Exist is this thing, this like jet air dryer blowy thing, because that just reminds me. It just reminds me of a hairdryer. You know, it's used after the generator's been neutralized in Moving Your Dead, in order to get Grandma Tracy and Alan off the the beam of the bridge that they're on. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just not good. Moving on to one I actually really like, is this. It's the same thing, same vehicle as a mortar launcher, but this one's got a laser beam on the front, and that makes it cooler. And it's also in 30 Minutes Afternoon, which is another episode I like a lot. Bit weird that it's got, well, I mean, timer. I suppose it does make sense in the episode, but it's just a laser beam car in the shape of like a mini tank, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Oh no, don't want to do that. You're going back down there. Here we go. This is my favorite pod vehicle, the Firefly. It's not in as many episodes as I thought it would. Like, it's in the beginning of Terror in New York City. It's in City of Fire. I want to say it's in another episode, but I can't remember what it is. But it is such a clean design. It is a bulldozer with like fire extinguishing bombs that come out of it. It is so cool. It is. I just love the design of it. I absolutely love the design of it. You know, even like the 2004 Thunderbirds, I like the design of a Firefly map, even though it doesn't really protect the driver on top of the cannons very well. In a rescue, I imagine probably. But yeah, the Firefly, it is up there with another vehicle that we get to. Is probably there's two like iconic pod vehicles that. So if you're somewhat vaguely familiar with Thunderbirds, you probably think of Thunderbird 2 and a pod vehicle. You think of those two. And what we got next? The elevator cars. Only seen in the pilot episode, Trapped in the Sky. I'm sticking these in. I'm gonna stick these in great. They don't. Yeah, they do the job, but they don't do the job very well. But it is part of the first rescue we see. It's part of the first episode. And the music as they're coming out was scored by Barry Gray, which I definitely need to do a video on my favourite scores in Thunderbirds. That is a video I definitely need to do for this series. It's just so grand. And I mean, the scene they're in is just iconic as well. You know, it is the Fire Flash landing, the very first rescue, that international rescue attempt, and they succeed. Yes, it involves one of the radio control ones crashing into a plane, and all their tyres and brakes catching on fire at the end, and the brakes blow up and sends Virgil across the runway, but got the job done. It's a very iconic scene, which is probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the elevator cars, but again, this is one of these ones I made a very crude example of in Lego, which I have somewhere, but I do like the elevator cars. We got this little caterpillar tractor thingy from Perils of Penelope. It's in to go in the monorail tunnel. I'm going to stick this one in meh because it's doesn't do a lot of rescuing. Kind of, it's got nothing to like rescue. Yes, it's like a pod vehicle, but Gordon and Virgil just go in it just so that they can get through the tunnel quicker, really. And it's probably flat enough where it doesn't get destroyed by the monorail. So yeah, I'm gonna put that one in meh. What we've got this neutralizer beam tractor thingy bob from Moving Your Dead. I kind of like this one, so I'm gonna put it in good. I think it just looks. I think this looks cool. And yeah, again, this is one of the ones where I'm a simple creature. I'm going to be simple with that one. I do like that one. What we got here? Oh, we got this vehicle that was used in Path of Destruction. I really like the look of this thing, and I like in the. I'm gonna. So if it stick this in good or so I stick this in great. I'm gonna stick it in great because I like Path of Destruction as an episode. And I think this is a really really cool design. And they use it just to get on top of a crab logger. But I love how in the episode the wheels just get dirtier and dirtier over time as they do it, which is again a very subtle thing, but it is a good attention to detail that they did. And again, I like the design of it, and it reminds me of it just reminds me of elevator cars. I don't know if it's because of the three wheels or the way it moves. It reminds me of elevator cars quite a bit. What the recovery vehicles? Do I stick the? I'm going to stick these ones in. Do I stick them in good or do I stick them in great? I might stick it. I might just keep them good. Because these are the vehicles they use to get the Sidewinder out of the pit, and yeah, a little bit of a struggle at first that they have, but you know they're very powerful because Sidewinder weighs, if I remember correctly, like 500 tons. So they can lift a lot. They're big lifters, these recovery vehicles. Again, they get the job done. Which I could say for, you know, quite a few of these vehicles. Like they do what they are designed to do, really. And some of them just look cool. So yeah, I'll stick with recovery vehicles in good. Excluding Thunderbird 4, because it is a Thunderbird, not a pod vehicle, even though it lives in Thunderbird in the pod 4 of Thunderbird 2. Now we got the Mole. This is the other one that's going straight into iconic, and I think this is even more iconic than Firefly, but I prefer the Firefly. That is my favourite pod vehicle, but the Mole, cool design, and, you know, even in the Thunderbirds 2004 movie, I think it looks even cooler in that, just because it's got the different spinning blades, which is it looks really really cool. And again, it looks so cool. And you know, it's called a mole. You know, like moles are known for tunneling underground, and this thing tunnels underground. I know there's a word for that. It's like, you know, like George Lucas says, it's like poetry. It rhymes. So yeah, the mole. What I would say it's probably more iconic than Firefly, but I much prefer the Firefly. I think the Firefly looks so much cooler because there's a bulldozer that shoots out, that has a cannon that shoots stuff out of it. Mainly water bombs, but high powerful water bombs. And then finally, we've got the radar. Because this is used to get the retros to fire from Thunderbird 3, because it gets set on a collision course with the sun. And again, it's one of those vehicles like with the fire extinguishing equipment and the explosion tractor that's used by the road company in End of the Road. It is one of those bog standard vehicles with a different attachment, which isn't a bad thing, but I know everyone loves the Sun Pro, but I do like the Sun Pro, but not as much as everyone else. And yeah, I'll stick it in meh. It does the job eventually after they get Brayman to do that equation that brains can't do without a computer, which I mean is a ridiculous equation. So yeah, let's see with some math. So looking over the tier list, there's actually quite a few that are just like good, and there's quite a few in You Exist, which is not a knock, but to those vehicles, but they're not very good. And the other ones I just don't like for just my own personal reasons, really. But I don't think anyone would argue with me over the Mole and the Firefly being at the top, because those are like the most iconic pod vehicles aside from Thunderbird 4 down here, which I'm not going to rank because that would be an iconic as well. But it's a Thunderbird. So yeah, what controversial takes? I don't know. Maybe the laser beam car, possibly Thunderbird 6. I don't know. Let me know what you think of a tier list in the comment section down below. So that's going to be it for this installment of ThunderbirdsTember. If you liked this video, feel free to like it. A dislike if you disliked it. And if you like this video, check out some of my other content. And if you like this other content, feel free to subscribe to my channel by turning the red subscribe button to grey. And stay tuned for more ThunderbirdsTember content. And I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.